I'm on Patreon, and Patreon is a platform where I will upload interesting videos where you can learn astrology. And this is an exclusive Patreon only membership videos where you will get some interesting takes on Vedic astrology, some interesting learning on Vedic astrology. Connect with me on Patreon and we will grow, and I will give you much more deep insights on Vedic astrology, and lot more secrets will be shared there. Hello seekers, welcome to Punneit Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. Now, Mars was in Mula Nakshatra. Mars is a planet of power. It's a planet of war, it's a planet to fight, it's an aspiration, it's the struggle. It's the capacity to win, it's your blood rush. And that Mars is now in Sagittarius. I've already made a video of Mars transit in Sagittarius zodiac, so you can watch that video. The link will be in the description box below. Coming to the nakshatra, Mars was in Mula Nakshatra. And on 4th of February, Mars will move to Purva Ashada Nakshatra. Now, why Mars transit to Purva Ashada is important is because Venus is already in Purva Ashada Nakshatra in Sagittarius in close proximity to Mars. It's basically a Mars and Venus conjunction, and Mars will go into a Venusian Nakshatra of Purva Ashada because Purva Ashada is actually ruled by Venus. The planetary lord is Venus. So this gives a proper masculine and feminine fusion, and this fusion will spark the power of creation. It will give you the potential to literally bring out a new personality, to carve a new you, and that is why this transit is very important. But there are few red flags, there are a few checkpoints, and we will discuss that in this video. So stay tuned till the end to know much more about this transit, and please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon, because clicking the bell icon will keep you and me stay connected. Follow me on Instagram for reels and engaging content, and on Telegram for link to all platforms. For consultations, please drop me an email. The email ID will be in the description box below. Let's move further to the analysis of Mars transit in Purva Ashada Nakshatra. Purva Ashada Nakshatra is a nakshatra ruled by goddess Apah, a Rigvedic deity representing cosmic water, therefore representing life. If Mula Nakshatra represents the core, the basis, the root, the origin, then the life originated from water, and that is what we have seen. Even the Dashavatar of Vishnu, the sequence of avatar, also talks about the origin of life from water. It was the Samudra Manthan that gave us that gave the Devas and the Danavas the Amrit, the prosperity, and everything came out of the churning of ocean, means water, the cosmic waters. Therefore, when Mars goes into Purva Ashada Nakshatra, it also talks about the power to churn the ocean. Well, if you remember in the Devasura Sangram, when the Devas and the Asuras were fighting for the resources, it's also a war of resource. The churning of the ocean gave both the positive and the negative, the halahal, which was the poison, as well as amrit, the elixir of immortality. Both came out from the same water, which tells us that initially we will always expel the negative, but after the negative has been expelled will come the positive, because after a lot of churning of the ocean, of the milk, you get butter, you get ghee. That means the essence will come after some amount of efforts that you put in, and that efforts is Mars. But this also talks about war for resources, because Devas and the Asuras were fighting for the resource, fighting during the churning, but they had to cooperate. The Vasuki, who was represented as a rope that was used to churn, one side of the rope was held by the Devas, the other side of the Vasuki was held by the Asuras. Pardon me if I'm wrong on the Vasuki. But this talks about cooperation in war. See, it was a common belief system for the Devas and Asuras that something they will get out of the churning that will be beneficial to them. It was a common goal. If there was no common goal, they would have ended up fighting with each other, killing each other. So Purva Ashada Nakshatra energies talks about creation of life, where you fuse the positive and the negative together and go beyond that. It talks about unition. It talks about confluence of the masculine and the feminine force. And it talks about war of belief system. Now see, this was a belief system that united both the Devas and Asuras for a common goal, but still they fought. They fought for Amrit, they feared the wish, the poison, but initially the initiation was done with a common goal, and that is what Mars in Purva Ashada means. It means that you will have to embrace both the good and the bad of your life, and for once think about a common goal, the higher purpose. There must be something that you can obtain out of this scenario by churning your mind, by churning your life. And trust me, it is Venus that is the elixir of immortality, because Venus is the feminine power. Why is Purva Ashada Nakshatra feminine energy? Because it represents amniotic fluid, it represents child nourishment to the child, it represents the child birth, but in a dharmic way. It's a dharmic birth. Purva Ashada also falls in Sagittarius, which is also beyond Scorpio, that is beyond the energies of Mars. See, if you start with Aries and you end up in Scorpio, it's like life and death that starts with and ends at Mars, and the journey beyond Scorpio from Sagittarius to Pisces has nothing to do with Mars. It is absolutely Jupiterian and Saturnian forces. When Mars crosses this belt, this is Mars that has given up all the aspirations, and Mars is closely working towards Dharma. Now this is where the catch is. What is Dharma to you? It is what you feel right about life. So you should be very careful about what you feel, what is right. You should always weigh your actions, your karma on the basis of consequences of the action. Because while Venus is present, the ruler of Purva Ashada, it can wage a war that is unnecessary. It can wage a war on a belief system that is unnecessary. It can make you believe on things just out of passion, where you will regret later on. Because remember, once Mars moves into Uttarashada Nakshatra, which is called the latter victory, you will also realize that Saturn, which is in Capricorn, will never allow the expansion of Mars the way it wants, although Mars will be exalted in Capricorn. So the future of Mars is restricted. That means you should also be careful while you are walking the path. Where does it affect a normal human being? Well, the first area that it will affect you is relationships. Because it is Venus. Venus is relationship, love, matters of beauty, matters of investment. So if this is positive, you will be more creative, you will be more poetic, you will be more expressive. People in creative work, advertisements, people in writing, people who are poets, people who are stand-up comedians, people who are into art and craft, interior designing, astrology, will see a great boost in their business, in their career. They will get new ideas, you will get new agendas to work with, you will get new avenues to explore and expand your horizon. Remember, Jupiter is in Satbhisha, so it will also heal the pain areas of your life. So it seems to be a very perfect. But remember, if Mars is corrupted in your own horoscope, say Mars is with Ketu, Mars is with Saturn with close degree, Mars and Rahu forms an Angarak Yoga in 6th, 8th or 12th house, then you should be extremely careful. If your Rahu is in Purva Ashada Nakshatra, exactly around the degree of Mars and Venus, you should be careful. Why? Because this can corrupt, this can create jealousy, this can create the motive-driven action which is actually going to lead you to the path of disaster. So you need that filter, you need that possibility that somebody is stopping you. So respect criticism, respect if somebody is trying to stop you, irrespective of who you are, and always weigh your action depending upon the consequences. Yes, it is always said that karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana, but even the karma you do, you should always think about the consequence and then do the karma, and result should be left on God. At least you know that whatever you did was right. Yes, It is always subjective to a person what he feels right, but at least you should put an attempt. You should at least try to be as justifiable as possible. You can justify your actions in a positive way. Purva Ashada is also fluid in nature. Purva Ashada is also passionate, so it can increase lust in your horoscope. It also means that you will take the path of more luxury and show off when you talk about religion and spirituality. So don't show your spiritual growth. Don't be too proud about, or don't go for a show off of the spiritual upliftment that you had. It's not like you will go to the temples and spiritual places and you will boast about it. Remember, Mars and Venus is like Ardhanarishwar, where Shiva and Shakti combines. So you should respect this confluence. You should respect this energy. And while this energy creates a dramatic shift in your life, you should pray to Lord Shiva. Praying to Shivling, going to Shiva temple and praying to Shivling, offering water to the Shivling, chanting Om Namah Shivaya and meditating in front of Shivling is the best way you can harness the energy in the positive way. Remember, it is Sagittarius and Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. It's the house of Dharma. So when Mars and Venus come together, it creates a war of Dharma. But Dharma to you should be a Dharma which is the path of righteousness, not bounded by any rules or regulation, but it is more about good for you and good for everybody. Otherwise, your belief system will make you wage a war that you will not like how it will finish. Rahu is in Taurus and the same Venus is 8th from, the Taurus Lord is Venus, it is 8th from that. So Venus is already scared about the resources, as if Venus has gone to Mars and Mars has come to protect the Venus. So definitely you will feel more secured if you follow the path of Dharma. Yes, some of the sacrifices are necessary because Purva Ashada talks about sacrifices. See, if you have to cross an ocean, all you can do is carry a boat. And the boat has a certain capacity. It can't carry the weight of your entire life. You must give up few things. So when Mars goes in Purva Ashada, you will have to drop the weight. Otherwise, you will not be able to cross and you will sink. And that's not the cause here. So you will have to drop the past few things. So it is a very good time where you can forget and think in the future. There is a passion waiting for you. You can find your passion and you can move forward. But again, in relationship, don't be jealous. Don't be overpowering. Don't dominate. Don't be possessive, because it is very easy to become possessive and then go in the negative path. In astrology, Mars is said to be a tamasic planet and Venus is the Asuri planet, because Venus is said to be the Daitya Guru. So when Mars and Venus come together, a lot of people talk that Mars and Venus is a yoga that creates the sensual desire. It is more about Kama Urja, it's more about lust, Sambhog, but it's not really that, especially not in Sagittarius. If it was in Libra, I can think, but in Sagittarius, it will not be like that. In Sagittarius, it talks about Kundalini awakening. It talks about the Urdhvagami, the upper motion of the Kama Urja, and that is what opens up the third eye. So spiritual awakening, awakening of chakras, pranic healing, past life regression, all these things, the soul realignment, all these things are a possibility during the Mars transit in Purva Ashada Nakshatra. Remember, this is an internal war. So don't wage a war outside, wage a war inside. Do the churning of the cosmic water inside. You are 70% water. So consume water, save water, work for water conservation, and let your body, let your mind go into that churning. Whether you will have to decide what is your passion, what is your love, where is your comfort zone, and what you will have to sacrifice to achieve that place. A well-balanced energy and a well-balanced energy sequence will lead you to the right destination, where not only you will feel happy, but you will also feel comfortable. You will get your love, you will get the money, you will get the family, and you will be in a pretty good space, because Mars and Venus is in fact a material conjunction placed in a spiritual house. It is like you are using Maya to understand Maya. It's the same thing. Do you know that your brain understands itself? Because if you have an understanding about your own brain, who gave that understanding? It's your own brain. Your brain tells you who you are, which you say consciousness. Same thing. When Mars and Venus comes together, realign the Ida and Pingala, realign the spiritual forces and talk about Sushumna, the middle path, and that confluence will lead you to the path of success. So that was a quick video. I hope you liked this video, and if you like, do not forget to subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss another update. Also, on the remedies part, for Mars and Venus conjunction, chant Purusha Sukta, also chant Rudrashtakam. Chanting Om Namah Shivaya 40,000 times during the month of February will be a great thing, because on 1st of March in India, it's Mahashivratri. So, just pray to Lord Shiva, meditate, and if possible, do the Shambhavi Mudra, and this will lead you to the path of spiritual awakening and satisfaction of mind.